Alright, this is going to be a different kind of video. Today we're going to use more whiteboards. I'm going to explain the theory behind testosterone and how to actually boost it to get to the dream level, 1000 nanograms. If you could get to here, then you're good. You don't need to try any other methods of boosting your testosterone, and everyone can get to 1000 nanograms. There's obviously androgen receptor sensitivity and your anti-androgens like cortisol and prolactin, so you might not have 1000 nanograms of testosterone activity, but everyone could get to at least 1000 nanograms of total testosterone, and hopefully the optimal range in the free testosterone. So before we start, I just wanted to make a disclaimer. Genetics do play a role in this, but every man can significantly boost his testosterone, especially with the modern environment, modern diet, everything. Now let's start at the very, very bottom, right? Let's start at the priorities. We got sleep. Now, without sleep, everything will crumble. That's why I put it at the very, very bottom. And the amount of hours you should aim for is 8 to 10. Excuse my handwriting, but this is the optimal time you should be sleeping for testosterone. No, not 7, not being 8 hours in bed, unless you go to bed for 8 hours and you fall asleep in a second. Bare minimum 8, all the way to 10. And this mainly applies to people who do work out. So if you don't work out, you might need a bit less sleep. But if you do work out, you definitely need more rest, because you're putting your body under stress. So if you don't have sleep, the rest of the pyramid will crumble, meaning that you won't have high testosterone no matter what you do, unless you take steroids, which we're not going to do anyways. So sleep is a priority, is a must. Try sleep bare minimum 7 hours, which is not optimal, by the way. You should be sleeping in this range, but at least 7 hours on a bad day. Number 2 is micronutrients. Now, there's pretty much 2 types of nutrients. There is macronutrients. It's taking long to write, but whatever the fuck. Macronutrients and micronutrients. I'm not gonna write it, but basically, macronutrients are the shit you see, like carbs, fat, protein. These are macros. Macros are still important. Don't get me wrong, macros are important. Without macros, then you're not gonna have high T. But what's pretty much underground and what a lot of people don't talk about is your micronutrients you need. So your vitamins and minerals. Anyone could eat 200 grams of protein per day. I could go to McDonald's and then I could get 5 triple cheeseburgers and I'm sure I'll hit my protein goals. But what about the other shit inside? What about the micronutrients inside? That's why you will see less progress and you feel like shit eating McDonald's, even though it has high fucking protein. So it's all media propaganda, TikTok propaganda that say that protein is the only thing that matters. It doesn't. It's your micronutrients. And I'm going to give you a couple of essential micronutrients you need to get. First one, without this you're pretty much fucked. Zinc. Zinc is is one of the most important minerals for testosterone. And coincidentally, a lot of people are also deficient in zinc. And why is that? Let me just write it in big writing. Phytates make you deficient in zinc. So what foods are high in phytates? Let me tell you. Bread. Pasta. A lot of you fuckers are eating 2000 calories of pasta per day. That is not good. Despite it being a good carb source that a lot of people say, if you eat a lot of grains, then you're probably going to be deficient in zinc. So this pretty much makes you more deficient in zinc, which is fucking horrible. We don't want that. You can still eat bread, pasta, rice, don't get me wrong, but just not in very large quantities. That's why I don't really like the chicken and rice diet. The chicken and rice diet isn't optimal for testosterone. So to get your zinc, you need to be eating 2 foods, and 2 foods only for your zinc. First one, red meat. Red meat has the most amount of zinc, except this other food that I'm going to tell you right now. More than any other food that you could think of. More than chicken, more than eggs, more than fish. Red meat is just a very, very good food to eat. So Don't miss out on your red meat if you want to optimize testosterone. Second food, oysters. Oysters has the most zinc in any other food. I think 1 ounce has like 10 milligrams, some shit. I don't exactly know, but it's a lot. But I understand if you can't eat oysters or you don't really like oysters, especially in the UK, it's a bit risque if you get oysters on some random place. So if you're not going to eat oysters, definitely eat your red meat. Now, I'm not going to waste too much time on the other two minerals, but they're magnesium and boron. So let me write boron. So with boron, it's a lot harder to find. This will actually free up your testosterone that is bound to SHBG. SHBG means sex hormone binding globulin, and that pretty much attaches to your testosterone and stops it from working and entering the cells, which we don't want. We want to lower SHBG, and one way to do that is eat boron. Now, foods high in boron: avocado, dried apricots, some kind of dried fruits like raisins and shit. So there's actually not that much food that is high in boron. Even foods like red meat, which are very good for you, don't have boron in them. So I recommend supplementing with boron. I actually have a supplement right now. I am not sponsored at all by this. It's 10 milligrams of boron. Take it every day. I haven't really researched into this, but I eat my avocados and I take this once a day. So you can buy boron, supplement with it. Third nutrient is magnesium. You need magnesium. Magnesium is super good for your overall health and for you to fall asleep. So if you're struggling to fall asleep, then I recommend taking magnesium. And if you don't want to supplement with magnesium, which I completely understand, and I prefer it, you get it from foods, it's foods like nuts and avocados. So make sure you eat plenty of avocados and nuts. So stuff like almonds, walnuts, shit like that. Number 3, this is also from diet, and that's cholesterol. Now, a lot of you might think cholesterol is bad for you because of these fat doctors since you were born telling you how cholesterol is the reason why everyone's having heart attacks. It's horrible for you. But if you guys didn't know this, in the process of your body making testosterone, what starts is cholesterol. So without cholesterol, you won't have testosterone. So the precursor to testosterone, cholesterol. Then it goes to like 5 other pathways: progesterone, pregnenolone, I can't even fucking pronounce it, androsterone, and then it goes to testosterone eventually, and then it can get converted to estrogen or DHT. But how it all starts, is because of cholesterol. So how do you expect to have high testosterone if you're not eating foods heavy in cholesterol? You can't, right? If you're not eating fat, if you're not eating foods high in cholesterol, your body's not going to make testosterone. It's simple common sense, a lot of these things. So, foods high in cholesterol, like we said, red meat. So it's like a 2 birds in 1 stone. You will get your micronutrients and you will get your cholesterol. But the thing with red meat is it's very broad. There's different kind of cuts of meat. There's ribeye, there's sirloin, there's fucking rump steak. But my go-to with red meat is any kind of red meat high in fat. So usually I eat lamb, and I will make sure to check the back. There'll be a lot of white in the red meat. That shows that there's higher fat, which is very good. The more white part there is, then it's better for your testosterone. So eat red meat. The ones particularly high in fat, so one I'll give you is ribeye steak, very high in fat. So yeah, eat your red meat. And one more food I'll give is eggs. Eggs are super good. Eggs, I'm actually writing it down right now. Eggs are go-to food for boosting your testosterone. A lot of your problems can be solved with eating eggs for boosting your testosterone, obviously. So make sure you aim for 4 per day. Just 4. You might think 4 is too much. Loads of people eat way more, but there's no need. If you get 4 to 5 eggs per day, that should be enough for your micronutrients, for your cholesterol, and yeah. Number 3 is vitamin D. People talk about vitamin D a lot, but they don't really state how much IUs you actually need. And I think I saw this study or something like that, where people will supplement with vitamin D, or they'll go outside for a long time and they'll still be deficient in it. So your vitamin D needs vary so much depending on the person. So I could tell you to supplement with 5,000 IUs per day, 10,000 IUs per day, but it might not be enough for you. Some people supplement with 30,000 IUs per day. So what I want you to do is start with supplementing 10,000 IUs per day, and if you don't really see a difference, then go even higher, or do blood tests to see if you're deficient or not. In terms of going outside, well, this is the only time where I'm mainly taking supplements, because with vitamin D, if you don't live in a hot country where the sun's always out, then you're not going to get a lot of vitamin D. Like I'm in the UK, for example, barely any sun. But this should not discourage you from going outside. You still get vitamin D even if it's shit weather. Next one is legs. When you go to the gym, I want you to train legs 2 times per week. Not any more, not any less. Men who train legs hard as fuck has shown my voice, fuck, you know. Men who train legs hard as fuck are shown to have 150% more testosterone than other men, according to this study. But it's not only this study that shows it. There's a lot of studies showing that legs boost testosterone. It could be as low as like 20% and it could go as high as like 100%. It varies upon the study. But what we do know for a fact is that training legs boosts your testosterone. I want you guys to train legs twice a week. And lastly, compete. Compete with people, compete with men, compete in a sport, compete in an activity. Any kind of competition will boost the heck out of your testosterone for a very simple reason. Testosterone has been given to us to reproduce. So every fucking thing I tell you to do in this video, all of this shit, the reason why we do it, the primary reason, is to find a mate and reproduce and pass on your genes. That is the role of testosterone, right? That's why when men's testosterone go up, they get more horny. It's your body's signal to find a mate. A couple thousand years ago, men would compete. And when I say compete, they weren't fucking playing chess together. They were fighting and killing each other to get that one mate. So it makes sense that in the modern world, if you compete, if you fight for your status, then your testosterone is also going to go up. So you could fight off your competition and you yourself get the mate. It's simple biology, but make sure you compete. A lot of people will do all of this and then they'll miss out on competition. And that's what's missing for you to get 1,000 nanograms. Sure, all of this might take you to 700, 800. But if you want to get that extra boost, that very high testosterone feeling, you need to do things like competition. That's been the end of the video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. I have a free Discord server where we discuss things like these: testosterone, muscle, gym. And yeah, go join that right now. It's in the top link in the description. I'll see you in the next video.